Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Mekach, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, that taught us His truth. And Shalom to the Arkim that's pushing His truth and sincerity across the globe, man. You know, we out here another week to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom, which current rulership has been given to Esau, Edom, you know, the so-called white man, known as in the Bible, alright? And we come out here to warn our people, which comprises of you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man, that, you know, your redemption is nigh, man, alright? And 1/3 of our people, you know, men, women, and children, are going to get delivered in these last days, and 2/3 of our people are going to be destroyed on this side. They're going to have to get reborn in the kingdom. Right?
What you said about this wicked kingdom being given to Esau. This is Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Right, so it said the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, man. Because the scriptures also say, let favor be shown to the wicked, yet he will not learn righteousness, man. Alright? So that favor's been shown unto Esau, Edom, man. Right? So he had a chance to do the right thing with that power that was bestowed upon him, man. But could he do the right thing? No, he couldn't, man. Because the scriptures also say in Romans that he was a vessel of wrath that was fit to destruction, man. Alright? So it wasn't possible for him to do righteousness, man. Can a leopard change his spots? No. No?
It says he covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. Now, how did he cover the faces of the judges, man? First of all, who are the judges? The judges is the Israelites, man. Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And he covered their faces with something called iconoclasm, man. And depicting the art, you know, the artwork as so-called white people, man. Right? Covering the faces. Alright, you can see that, you can read that in Matthew, the first chapter, 3:48.
That's the bull?
And also, he covered the faces of the judges, man. Alright? If you go to certain parts of Europe onto this day, you can still see depictions of, you know, Negroes, you know, that actually have a darker hue, you know, on the pagans in the churches. Alright? So that's proof and evidence of that fact.
Yeah, well, since you mentioned the word iconoclasm, I think when you go into the etymology of the word, it goes into like an image breaker.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So basically, that's why, you know, you see a lot of the statues that Jake used to have ruling in the Dark Ages, Esau during the Renaissance period, because we ruled for about 1,000 years, man. And basically, Esau, what he done was he, like you said, whitewashed our images. You know, literally painted over our images, and he hammered off the noses of so-called black men who were ruling, which were really Jake. Because we were ruling for, you know, that 1,000-year reign, that 1,000-year where the devil was shut up and bound for 1,000 years, like it says in Revelation. You know, and Renaissance means rebirth. You know, so it's really what, mid to late 1400s. That's when Esau started coming back into his full strength again. You know, and he's been in power to this day. To this day. You know, like Deontay Wilder's saying.
Yeah, because he hammering up the noses. Why? Because that's a prominent feature of a so-called black person. You know, not every single Israelite, but, you know, people of color, they tend to have broader noses and, you know, broader lips. That's a defining mark. So him chopping that off is getting rid of that evidence that these people are people of color. Because what does Esau do? He tries to impersonate every single person in history. If he has a movie, he's going to be that person, and that person, to make you think that he's the one that's dominated the whole world all of this time. To make the other nations feel like they're lesser than, especially you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Right?
I got a precept. John, Salaki.
It says, if not, where and who is he?
If not, where and who is he, man? If it's not the so-called white man that's done these things, then you would have to show us, you know, some proof of the other nation that done these things, man. But you can't do that. That's why the scripture says that, man. Because it's evident that it is the so-called white man. All fingers point to him, man.
So John 8 and 44. Ye are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. He was the murderer from the beginning and abode not in truth.
He was the murderer from the beginning and abode not in truth, man. That's talking about Cain. Alright? And later Esau as well. You know, because he was the murderer from the beginning. He was the one that went against, you know, his brother Abel, and then he went against Jacob, man, in the reincarnation. Man.
And he was a liar.
And he was a liar, man, the father of lies.
Hey, so the scripture says in Psalms that the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. So that's another blot on Esau, like being labeled the wicked. Because he lied when the Heavenly Father inquired. He was like, well, you know, that brother's crieth unto me in Genesis. He said, am I my brother's keeper? He lied to the Lord. So that's the trait of the wicked. That's the trait of the so-called white man.
And he says, and abode not in truth, because there's no truth in him.
Because there's no truth in him, man.
Yeah, that's spiritual. That shows that Esau can't get the truth.
That's right.
There's no truth in him. Like, it's from his father's line. Like, Cain on down, you know? There's no truth in Esau. He can't actually get the truth because there's no truth in him.
That proves he can't be redeemed. He can't be saved.
It says, when he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it.
He's a liar and the father of it. He's the father of lies, man. He was set up on the left-hand side to be a liar, man. To be a murderer, to be a killer.
So that ties into the iconoclasm, as you were saying.
Yep, that's right, man. Everything he puts out there for you to believe is of a lie, man. It's a fornication of a lie. You know, the very essence of this man is just a lie, man. From the belly, he go forth from the womb speaking lies, man, like the brother quoted.
This is, you spoke of it earlier. Jeremiah 13:23. Can the Ethiopian change his skin? Or the leopard his spots?
Right, so the Bible is making a comparison with an Ethiopian, man, that are known to have very dark pigmented skin. Alright, so can the Ethiopian change his skin? No, he can't. Finish off.
It says, or the leopard his spots.
Or the leopard his spots. Can the leopard, you know, make his spots disappear? You know, what leopard have you seen out there that decided he didn't want no spots and, you know, just changed it, man? You can't do that, man.
Because even when people shave their fur off or whatever, you see it's actually imprinted on their skin. The patterns in the skin. Like with the Ethiopian, Ethiops being the burnt face. You know, so it's basically giving you like rhetorical points. Like, bro, it's impossible.
Like you might, you know, even certain people out here that have like, what do they call them, beauty spots? You can't change them spots, man. If that spot's on your face, it's gonna be there. There's nothing that you can do. You might try and shave it off, you know. You ain't gonna get rid of that, man.
Hey, because even my son came out with one of my beauty spots.
Oh yeah?
You know, that I have on my forehead. He's got the same one, but on the other side. So that's also a mark that can't be changed, you know? It's genetic.
And it says, then may ye do good that are accustomed to do evil.
Accustomed to do evil, like it says in Romans, he was a vessel of wrath that was fitted for destruction. Now, if you're fitted to do something, you can't do anything outside of what you was fitted to do. If you were fitted to be righteous, you're going to be righteous. If you're fitted to be of the wicked, you're going to be fit to be of the wicked until that dreadful day that Yahweh Hashem Shai takes them out as a nation.
So that's like predestination, man.
Predestination, man. You know?
Everybody's path's already been written out by the Heavenly Father, man. We also just walk it. Okay, but when you're part of these two, man, hey, Most High decides that, man.
I was thinking that earlier, you know. I was thinking exactly that.
So Esau, you know, he was fitted to be evil, man. He was fitted to be the adversary, and he was fitted to be on the left-hand side.
Really, it's his job.
That's his job.
That's his. Like, do you know how I work? Everyone's got a job role. This guy's a forklift driver. This guy's a cleaner. That's his job role, man. You know, hey man, Esau's really just doing his job. That's his job role, man.
Didn't the Lord say he created the wicked for the day of evil? So that's their purpose, man.
That's right.
You know, that's Esau's purpose. He's the head wicked, man.
Hey, just like Satan has a job. Satan is on the left-hand side to do all of the deeds that he needs to do on the left-hand side. It's a job, it's a role. You know?
Satan's like a staff member, man. You know?
He an employee.
He's an employee, man.
And he gets employee of the month every month.
You know, you get these businesses right. You know, you got your whole, you got your crew and that.
that's exactly right.
But when shit's going down in your business, you want to find out what's going on. You set one guy to task, man, to try to stitch out these guys, man. That's what happens. That's what I'm saying. He's there, they're trying to stitch people up, man.
Hey, even when you go to the story of Job, really, man, it was a board meeting. You know what I mean? Yo, man, what's going on with Job, man?
Done.
I'll do it, you know.
He ain't as good as you think he is, man.
Ahab as well. Ahab.
I'm gonna show you.
You know? Bro, that's actually, bro, that's spiritual, a board meeting, even with Ahab. It says he called those on his left. You had the left-handed angels, the right-handed angels, and it was like, so who would do this thing? He was going to cause him to die, basically. And it was like, so everyone was like, yeah, Lord, I can do this, and he said, I'll do it. You know, that's a board meeting, man.
Ruthless demons.
Yeah, ruthless demons.
He wanted to get that honor.
I'll put a lying spirit in the mouth of all their prophets, and the Lord was like, hi. Oh, yeah, man. He do that, man. It's a board meeting, man.
Hey, well, the scriptures does say that they appease the wrath
Appease it.
of him that made them. Anyway, look, this is Job, chapter 1, verse 6. That it was a day when the sons of God came to prepare to present themselves before the Lord. And
you can read from verse 1.
okay, so
Good story, Joe.
from verse 1, it says, there was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job. And that man was perfect and upright, one that feared the Most High.
So now it's telling us that Job, he feared Yahweh Shem Yahushai.
That means he's an Israelite.
Yeah, that means he was an Israelite. Because you got certain other, guys out there that want to say that he was an Edomite.
Yeah, because he dwelt in Uz.
Yeah, because he was in Uz. Bro. You can't be simple when you read these scriptures, man. Just because a guy was in the land, it don't mean he was one of them, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
but what did we read in Jeremiah? That's accustomed to do evil. So if Job was an Edomite,
He would have been accustomed to do it.
but he's not accustomed to do evil.
Check this, man. Because you people get fixed upon where people who grew up or lived or were born, what kind of manners, man. This is all about lineage, man, where you descend from for the patriarchs, man. I mean, Abraham, look, he was in the Chaldees.
He left.
He's not a Chaldean. You know, he was a Chaldean, he was living there.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
his family.
And it's spiritual because in Judith, they actually call him a Chaldean.
Yeah.
They called him a Chaldean in Judith, but
No,
is
he
he
wasn't.
Chaldean? No, he wasn't.
He descended from that line. He just grew up in that line.
So that's a cut.
No, so that shit don't matter, man. The law is dealing with descent,
Exactly.
heritage, lineage,
Biblical.
race.
Yes.
That's what the law is dealing with, man.
Yes.
Or like, you know how she said you got Simon of Cyrene.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's like you know you'd be like, oh, that's a cow by from Tottenham. That's a cow from I don't know Cardiff, wherever. You know what I mean?
Italian band
Of
as
the-
well.
Yeah.
Oh, you got certain Jake over in the States calling themselves African American. It's the same. That's the modern equivalent today. That don't make them African American. Look, if you're an
don't mean
Israelite,
shit.
you're an Israelite. Your seed goes back to the man known as Israel.
Yeah, that's just where you located. Come on, bro. You know, where you is right now.
You had citizenship in a particular land. That's really
was a
what it's
Roman.
referring to.
Yeah.
Paul was a Roman. It don't mean he was actually a Roman.
Yeah, Edomite stock.
Yeah,
He ain't that.
yeah.
He called himself a Benjamite. You know, Benjamite. You know, that's what he said. But he acknowledged he was a Roman citizen, man. He had, he was a citizen of Rome.
Yeah.
Okay.
It says, verse 2, and there was, and it says back in verse 1, and one that feared the Most High and eschewed evil.
So
Well,
he
can I make a can I make a point, man? Because there's been like when the Lord brought Israel down to Egypt, the other nations ran about fear because they heard of what happened, right? Okay, just because you fear or you've heard the name and all that kind of stuff, and you're like, oh yeah, that's the Israelites, because they knew the Lord was the Lord of Israel. They knew they weren't for them. That's why they were afraid. Yeah, but none of them issue with evil. They all still did their wickedness, man. And they were just frightened that the children of Israel were going to roll upon them, man. You know, so it's, you might know the Lord and you say, it's a great power, but at the end of the day, the righteous, they fear the Lord and issue with evil, man.
Right.
They're about the Lord's commandments. These other nations are not about the Lord's commandments, and they never have been.
No, yeah, they're a bunch of evil embraces.
Yeah.
You know, they're walking around evil embraces. You know.
Because at the end of the day, they're going to believe in their shit.
That's it.
How they believe life to be at, man. It don't matter what great judgment the Lord put upon the earth. Yeah, you heard about it, and people were shook back then, but they still worship their own gods. They still worship their own gods, man. That's why they got destroyed still.
Even though they saw the terribleness of the Lord, it didn't make them worship.
No, that's it.
They were still into their own shit.
They were just wary that Israel were rolling through. And there's a great power with them, man. They were shook.
Yeah. And there was born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters. His substance was also 7,000 sheep and 3,000 camels.
Yeah, so Job is a very wealthy man. You know, he had a lot of camel, he had a lot of children. You know, the Lord blessed him up, so to speak. You know? Put him in a high status, and he was also perfect with the Lord, man. Of good standing. You know?
And 500 yoke of oxen and 500 sheep asses and a very great household.
Real money, man. No, he had real money, not these FRN notes.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, and what's that? That's Abraham, man.
Yeah.
Okay. This paper money, man, is for a society that has become comfortable and believing that everything is going to be okay. Because, you know, you got cattle, you got land and stuff like that. That's actual real assets, man.
Right.
You needed something, man. You have something that someone else will need.
Right.
When this society goes down, no one's got none of that shit today. No one's got cattle, no one's got land, no one's got nothing to really to sell to somebody that's actually of value. When you got nothing but notes, ain't no one gonna want that. What's that gonna do to suffice them? Nothing.
It's fucked now. It's just classic now.
This society's not comfortable, man.
It's never good for fighting them. This is Genesis 13:2. And Abraham was very rich in cattle and silver and gold. And like to have cattle, to have silver, to have gold, you need land. You know?
All of which we're deprived of in this time, man. Only the rich have that. The poor, they don't have shit, man. Okay, I mean, even talking about these so-called middle class people, man, they don't have shit. They don't really own nothing.
Yeah.
Only the super elite own everything. You know, all the gold, all the. I don't care if you got a few shekels of gold in your fucking, in your drawer, just a drawer or whatever, man. You're not really earning. You ain't really got nothing.
Hey, you know, I always say, man, I always used to have this saying, you know, FRN notes, they're nothing but food vouchers, man, food stamps.
Yeah, that's it.
They're like credit notes, you know, that's what they are.
Only valid.
Only valid for a certain time. They got an expiry date, and it's coming, man.
It's really a promise.
Right.
Like it's not fact. It's like, all right, I'll get this for a certain rate now. But then in the future,
changes.
It could be worth more, it could be worth less.
Yeah.
Like I think even now, sometimes they like compare like £1,000 in like the 80s to now.
Oh, man's a millionaire almost.
Man's a millionaire almost. Yeah, man. I've actually spoken with like parents or whatever. Basically said, look, man, back in the 80s or whatever, a £1 could take you a long way. Like, remember even in the late 2000s, getting on the bus for 50p.
Oh, yeah.
So some brothers were around when it was 25, 20, yes.
I used to pay 25p to go on the bus in Northampton.
Yeah.
You know, that was normal.
Yeah.
Now it's normal to pay like, what, 150? You know? Over time, Esau can just change a lot of shit up, and you just accustomed, you get used to it year by year.
You got nothing really back from it.
Huh?
No.
And your pay ain't increased.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're paying. Which proves the king.
And it says, and a very great household, so that this man was the greatest of all the men of the east. And his sons went and feasted in their houses, every one his day, and sent and called for their 3 sisters to eat and to drink with them. And it was so, and when the days of their feasting were gone about, that Job sent and sanctified them, rose up early in the morning, and offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all. For Job said, it may be that my sons have sinned and cursed the Most High in their hearts.
That's how you know it was a Jake, man.
Right.
He just said, I'm going to sacrifice in case they sin. It's not even like, they said, oh, Dad, I did this. Bro, Edomites, like, it's almost as if sin makes their dick hard, man. Like, it's like they enjoy it, man. It turns them on to be wicked, man. The scripture says that they can't sleep till they're done wickedness, man.
This is and then it says, and then it says, thus did Job continually. Verse 6, the point. It says, now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them.
So Satan was counted as the son of God, man.
Yeah.
You know? Now that can bug a lot of people out in the world. You know? He's the son of God, man. He was made by the Most High power.
What
He
does
has
that
a
mean?
duty.
What does that mean? What does it mean he's the son of God? Is it literal? Did the Most High bring the Holy Spirit down?
Fuck Satan's
No.
mouth. Like, it just made, like, no, man. Satan hasn't got a mum. It just is. Because guess what? At the end, there's two types of sons of God. Because you've got some bug outs who try and say that's the same sons of God in Genesis. And how you get the Nephilim, Satan's seed, and playing a guitar in heaven and he fell to earth.